to the call. What's going on at corporate? What can you tell us? Give us some inside scoop. You can share it with this audience. Anything you want. They're not going to go blowing around. I don't know if I believe that one, Milo. But good morning, buddy, and I hope you had a great birthday, by the way.
Good morning. Yeah, I did, Dean. I don't know about that, keeping the secret in this call for sure. No, we want everybody to share everything with everyone. So, yeah, and guys, for the birthday thing, you know, you guys seriously just made my whole year for that. So thank you so much. Appreciate that a lot. So, yeah, guys, well, we're very excited about what's, how things are going right now. Specifically this month, we were on our executive meeting yesterday, and we were talking about numbers and how much of a growth we've had compared to last year in March, which is seriously, I mean, I obviously cannot say numbers, but it's been like, I don't even know the word to use, so big, so exciting, so just the momentum that we have compared to last year is great, and I've seen, the calls that I've had with people, the excitement that we have. I'm getting ready to travel again. Aaron was there on Masters. That started the whole thing. The excitement that you guys had, who attended the Masters there, and after the Masters also, just the willingness to start working and start meeting people and getting together. I'm talking to a couple of leaders. I'm going to start traveling towards the last week of May. I'll probably be in PA in Ohio. I was talking to Laura earlier and DW and everybody, and just saying, all right, let's start making plans. I plan to be on the road and sharing the Mower mission with everyone. So things are going back to normal. I want to be up there and make sure that everybody knows how these awesome products work, and I'm talking about all of them, including the two brand new ones that we have. I got off the phone with Junior Jr. Probably like 5 seconds before you gave me the time, just to make sure that we had everything updated, and I was asking him specifically for Encompass and Black Ground. Encompass is actually blending tomorrow, guys, and I know everybody's is anxiously waiting for this product. We want to make sure that you guys know where we're at. We want to make sure that you guys, and you guys know this, but to remind you that we want to add the best ingredients that we have available. We don't cut corners, so it's blending tomorrow. That means that it still goes through different processes of testing. After it's blending, we test. After it's bottled, we test. After everything encapsulated, we test. So it's going to be still probably a couple of weeks until we go through that process for Encompass. But good thing is that they already started blending this product, and they will do that starting tomorrow. That it's scheduled to start blending tomorrow. So these batches that we're doing, guys, they're whole complete big batches, so we don't have to worry about it's going to be running out or anything. Thomas is doing an awesome job planning and forecasting these products. So please be assured that we're going to be having these products back in inventory for a long time, and we're buying the raws to have in stock as well. So in case that we're running low, we're starting our runs earlier. So yeah, Encompass is going to be ready in a couple of weeks, guys. We'll give you guys an update. But the Black Ground is they're roasting the beans tomorrow as well. So we understand that the Black Ground is one of our favorite products. That's one of my favorites in the morning. Right now I'm taking the Black Instant, which is as awesome as the Black Ground. But yeah, the Black Ground is the beans are roasting for that product, and hopefully by that first week of April we'll have that product available. But I kind of caught him off guard. We're going to be recording our WhatsApp call today and making sure that we give you guys the update on the full list. I think it's 10 products that we have, but I'll give you guys the update on that call today. And also, just to remind you guys, we have the weight loss call tonight at 7 o'clock. Same phone numbers that we usually use for our monthly call. And I can give you that phone number right now, which is 605-313-5169, and the access code is 787070, and we'll have a surprise guest on that call as well. So 7 o'clock Utah time for our weight loss call. Please make sure that you ask your guests and everybody to be on that call to listen in to that special call. So yeah, guys, thank you so much, Dee, for giving me a time for this for being on this call. I just saw Junior walking by, so I'll hand it back to you.
Absolutely, buddy. We appreciate you giving us those updates and hanging with us and being there, and we can't wait to see you out on the roads in May. That's going to be a blast. Miss Helen and I are going to be out doing a big event on May the 8th. We'll give you more details on that Thursday. But today's the time for you to make a difference, to make an impact on closing out your month and making an impact in someone's life. The language that we gave you yesterday on the call is absolutely spectacular language to be using about clean energy. And I'm not talking about whether you're burning with propane or some of those things that a lot of people would bring up. I'm talking about burning clean energy in your body and in your system. And so being a part of that clean energy and making things happen in that field is huge. We have, we have a situation to where with Sisel Thin, for an example, it's going to help you burn clean energy and set your body up for success. So it'll help extract some of the junk out of your system and out of your body. And, like the breaking down the fat, so the fat can be burned as clean energy, which is some of the best fuel for your body. I mean, you want to be lit up and have great fuel, that's going to be it right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to someone who's ahead of this energy plant. I'm teasing with that a little bit, but when you come to Fire and Ice and you go to Sisel Sport and Sisel Thin and the brain vitality and the Sizzling and the Ripped, all these things give you energy. The coffee and suspended caffeine. Tom Jr. is on the call with us, and he's been mentored by his dad, and we talk about being a chip off the old block. He's a big chip off the old block. In other words, he does things with precision and excellence. He's not a guy that's going to compromise. So if you're a little bent out of shape that maybe a product isn't quite in your hands as soon as you want it, we get that. Here's what we also get. We're not going to compromise and put junk ingredients. There's no temptation at Sisel International to compromise and use, junk bottles and a junk ingredient. And they don't do that. They've been doing this for 30-plus years of bringing products that have integrity, products that have power, products that have potency, and products that get results. And Tom Jr. is with us today, and he gets to talk about whatever products is on his heart, and I love him to touch on Triangle Life a little bit, but whatever's on his heart, he's going to talk about and help us close out this month strong. Tom Jr., we love you, man. Thanks for being with us today. Take it away.
Well, thanks, DW, and you're right. It's about dynamic energy because energy is what turns on the light, makes the motors go, and gets everything going. The same is true with our body. We definitely get a better output with a better input, and what we put in our body is what determines the quality and the magnitude of our efforts. And you really hit on a couple of key points there, DW, and that is about quality. Quality is what gives us the biological benefit that we all desire. And from a business perspective, quality is what sells. People want to be part of something that works, both for their body and both for their business. And I'm glad you said a little bit about the Triangle of Life because that is definitely the foundation of what we have been doing here about dynamic health because it covers so many things. But first, I really want to, here we are, the end of the very largest month that we've ever had here in America. And it really shows because as people are getting fueled up about the opportunity, about the health, people are gravitating towards Sisel because they see the results that people are experiencing. And first I want to congratulate all of our wonderful distributors that we have, throughout the country here that are on the call because, we can see the results. And the big thing is they're sharing their story. They're showing their health. They're showing their weight loss. And we're kind of winding down for the weight loss season. We've got another 60 days that people will be focused on that. And after that, people will be moving on to summer and other things. And we will not forget weight loss. And we're going to keep maintaining. But we really need to maintain the focus that we really promote dynamic weight loss for the next 60 days and continue on with what we're doing, because there's nothing more contagious than looking at someone who you haven't seen in 3 or 4 months and saying, "Where's the other half? What happened to you? You're shrinking away." And as we've lost thousands of pounds throughout the field and here at corporate, more and more people are coming on because we've done something that others haven't done. These are unique formulas only for Sisel. And it's not something that just happened, boom, 4 or 5 months ago. These are pieces that we've put together over years. And we've watched studies on fucoxanthin. And we know about caffeine and what happens when you have time-released caffeine, where you wrap it in random layers that degrade slower than others, faster than others, so you maintain an even curve, and understanding metabolism and understanding what happens when we have high levels of ketones in our body. Well, we know that we switch to fat burning. How do we prepare fat? How do we make it burn faster? Well, with fucoxanthin, it has a thermogenic effect. And how do we cope with issues of insulin? Because we know that varies in different people. Well, ashwagandha helps with that. We have so many wonderful ingredients in that, but it comes right down to what you said. It's about quality and results. And so I really want to keep the focus for, the next 60 days. That's kind of the tip of our spear, because people are looking for those results and that business opportunity. We've had just a bountiful recruitment that people have been bringing people here to the office and on calls, and we're seeing the results. And so congratulations to everyone. I think they're going to be very happy when we run the commissions this month, and they'll see that their groups are growing, and the message is spreading, and the results are being seen out there from all the hard work that they've done. And we stand right there shoulder to shoulder with everybody to help them become what they can be. But don't give up now, because we've still got a couple days left. And, as Dad would always say, get your rear in gear. Let's get going. And unfortunately, I grew up my whole life since I was a small child hearing that first thing in the morning. Let's get going. And that travels on through everything that we do, because the early bird gets the worm, and the same is true with business. And this is about the easiest business that you could ever be a part of, because the products are the highest quality. The results are like no one has ever seen before. And then when people really want to fact check, what do? They start to Google, why is liquid resveratrol in Eternity better than when I bought down at the local retailer, in a capsule or a tablet? Because liquid is 300% more bioavailable. Would I like to put it in a capsule? Absolutely. The cost would go down, and it would be easier to ship. It would be, a fraction of the weight, but it wouldn't give us the results that we're looking for, because we're not looking for label claim. We're looking for results. So there's one of the cornerstones of the triangle of life. And then we have Spectromax. Well, going back, decades, we have seen what happens with antioxidants. When we're talking about longevity, we're talking about not just triggering our body to have a more youthful response, but we're also trying to defend our body, because just like a rusty old nail, the weather oxidizes it, the rain, the wind. Well, our bodies are the same way. As we're breathing air that's full of many things that our body doesn't know how to deal with. When we're eating foods and we're exposed to more, and The industrial chemical industry is making thousands of new compounds every year that are in, paints and everything we touch and upholsteries. And you hit on a good one, DW, packaging, phthalates, bisphenol A. At Sisel, we're concerned about that. A few years ago, there was quite a bit on packaging, and now not many people talk about it, but we do. We flip every bottle over, and we want to know what's made in there, and we want to make sure nothing's leaching into the products from the packaging. But so SpectraMax, we have over 40 different fruits and vegetables and plant-based ingredients that give us thousands of different types of antioxidants. Those are the defenders. I mean, there's also vitamins and nutrients that help to fuel our body, but they also grab on to these free radicals that want to, rust us away, break us down. And over a lifetime, when we become more aged, what we find is that we have a health response from this degradation of our health. But if we can defend it through proper nutrition, we can have a healthier lifestyle. And so SpectraMax is another cornerstone of this. Now, what do we have that's very adaptogenic that can help with hormone balance, increase our immune system, promote living to be a ripe old age? Fucoidan. And this is, thousands of years in the testing because people have been consuming it. And here we go back a few decades, scientists are researching who's living to be over 100 years of age and why. And what they find, people who consume brown seaweed high in fucoidan, they live longer because it is very adaptogenic, and it does so many wonderful things as a whole food and nutrient. And then the blessing of modern science is we're able to tell through 40 different varieties of brown seaweed which ones have the most, there's a term that we've used a lot, broad spectrum results. Well, we find that the Caledonia variety that we use out of Tonga contains that. And then at Sisel, how do we make it the very best? Well, we go through and we patent that formulation because science also shows that in the ocean, it randomly picks up sulfur. And when it does, it becomes more bioavailable. And so we've patented a process that only Sisel does, that we take these active moieties that are on the fucoidan molecule and we add sulfur to those so that when we consume it, our body quickly has a magnetic type effect. It grabs onto it and it takes it throughout our system so that we can experience those benefits that we're looking for. We are not, many people have heard me say this for years, we are not a marketing company looking for a product. We are a research manufacturer researching science that goes back thousands of years ago. In fact, the other night I was looking at the science of the terracotta soldiers, or the discovery in China, and I remember that really fueled Dad, and that was back in, I think, 73, 74, when they found the 10,000 different chariots and soldiers, and Dad was so mesmerized by the pharmaceutical wagon they had there that had studies that went back to about 200 BC and what they were doing with astragalus. Well, back then they were doing studies. Why were chickens living longer? Why were rats living longer? But more importantly, why were people living longer that consumed that? Well, we fast forward 2,000 years, we find science finds out that it's astragaloside 4 in the tip of the root of the astragalus plant that helps to promote longevity. And what it does is it helps to promote telomerase, and that protects our DNA because it wears out too over time as it replicates every day. Well, we've taken that science going back to the 70s when Dad was first looking at that, and he traveled in the early 80s to China to find out about that, and we have that formulation in TSX. We are the premier longevity company, and we are quickly becoming the premier weight loss company. But Sisel is not just a one-shot wonder. We have products that are safe in hair care, skin care, our research in science continues in those avenues too. This summer, you're going to see some more things that I'm working on, and I'm actually working on additional weight loss things for next year. And so the story continues. This is, off into infinity, and I'm so glad to have everybody part of what we're doing, DW, and I'm thrilled to be on the call today. We have 2 days left. Let's not say, wow, we've won the race. We have not. This race goes on and on and on, and the blessings go on and on and on. And let's continue on. Let's recruit. Let's share the testimony. Let's get out there. Back to you, DW.
You betcha. Absolutely amazing. And real quick question on the energy that's in our products. We talked about, it's in everything. I mean, it's how you built these products. And I've just been doing some research on keto, just the seaweed that we have our hands on that we take with precorded helps you get into ketosis. It's also a little bit in the in the Sisel thin, but then the caffeine and the energy helps with the fatty acids and breaking it down so you burn more fat. Can you speak to that real quick?
Yeah. So the fucoxanthin is a fraction of what is found in brown seaweed. And so we go back, 10, 15 years. When I first started looking at this, it was very interesting because, obviously we were heavy into fucoid research, and the first studies were starting to come out that it helped prepare white fat to be converted quicker to acetoacetate that goes through the liver and then is broken down into ketones. And so thermogenesis, if you define that, is basically the evolution of energy. So how do we, like a fire is a thermogenic process. Once you start that cascade, boom, 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 things start burning. And so the same is true with fat. And so as we were watching, what is U and F and G fucoid molecules, there's also this other fraction of fucoxanthin. And early on, it was really hard to find anybody who would extract that and concentrate it to a proportion that you could get a thermogenic effect and a benefit. And so as I'm always holding that science, because I knew on itself it wouldn't be, it would work and it was beneficial, but I need a catalyst to really, boom, accelerate it, and that's kind of where the BHBs come in. Because once we flood our body with these healthy ketones that are natural to our system, then our body's like, we're in ketosis. And that makes fucoxanthin that much more effective, because now it's like we're drawing this white fat. We have got to pull this because our body is into ketosis. And then how do we also promote it even faster? We eat a more ketosis-friendly diet. And so by restricting more of the simple carbs and, the starches and things, rather than have a baked potato every night, maybe we have a sweet potato and maybe not quite as much. And we're definitely, the more restrictive you get, the faster it goes. But fucoxanthin is very beneficial in helping to prepare that white fat to be converted back through the liver, back into acetoacetate and back into ketones, because it fuels the brain. And once the brain is nutrified, what happens to hunger? Well, we're not as hungry. We're not, the brain's got plenty of energy. 70% of all the energy is going to the brain anyway, and either it's getting it from simple carbohydrates, simple sugars, or it's getting it through burning fat. So we're doing everything to leverage our body into, no, we want to consume these fat stores. So, DW.
Well, that's amazing. And one of the things that happens in when you're doing the paleo, or you're doing keto, or they cross over. There's some similarities, but totally different, and you do them for different reasons. But you're burning the fat, which means you're going to be going to the bathroom a lot more. And one of the things that the experts out there are saying, and I love this, is that you need minerals. You got to have these minerals, and go here to get these minerals. And I'm like, everything they say we need, everything that they say that we need, all the way from the CBD to help you sleep better at night. Because when someone's into their 7th, 8th, 9th week of ketosis, they could go through a little keto, insomnia just a little bit. But you've got these things set up. And putting and taking a dose of Spectromax is huge. Another one maybe at night, so when your body's searching for minerals that help. But what we've been doing, and Marianne had us do this a long time, years ago, we put a full dose into a dill of water and drink it through the afternoon. I've got it in like a 20-ounce glass of water and drinking that. So I'm giving my body those nutrients and those minerals that they need and splashing it through my body, which you taught me that when I went through that, necrotizing fatty soft tissue. You said, you've got to splash your body with products all day long, not just big doses. I'm telling you, man, I feel better, and I'm so excited. I mean, thoroughly inside my bones are doing the happy dance. You setting us up for such success that we can get everything we need right here at Sisel.
That's it. I mean, when you talk about minerals, you look at the farming that's taken effect for thousands of years in Europe and hundreds of years in America. And if you go back to the early 1900s, Department of Ag has done research into farm soil, and you see that trace minerals that we need in our system are depleted, sometimes as much as 80-90% in a tomato or beans or something like that, because as we consume the crops, we consume the trace minerals that were left there from millions of years ago. And so this is why a product like Body Shield that's full of these pristine fulvic acid trace minerals. But I add that to other formulations also for that very reason. If we go back and we look at, early man, going back thousands of years, scientists figure that their diet was 7 to 10 times healthier in trace minerals and nutrients because they were hunter-gatherers and the things were growing naturally, and then they would fall off and go back into the soil. But we're consuming all of those, and so we need these trace minerals in our diet, or we have, if you look at some of the major things, we don't have calcium. We get osteoporosis. We get rickets. We have problems. It's a major mineral. But these are also true with little things, eubidium and iridium and all these different trace minerals we don't think about. They have a very specific thing that they do in your biology. And so that's a good point. And you hit another good point there too. It's not about, bam, I take it all at once. It's about keeping the fire burning. Put a few logs on at a time. So if you can dose it throughout the day, because your body's going 24/7, that is a better way to do it. I mean, I'm guilty of that. Morning and night are the two times that I'll take my Brain Vitality and my Encompass and my Triangle of Life. But if I ever think about it in the middle of the day, I'll take a little something like that too, because this fire in our body burns continually. So to put it in water or something like that, very beneficial.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm right here. Absolutely love it. And you know what? I've got 10,000 questions to ask you, but I know you've got a busy schedule along with us. But just to show you some honor, you sent Aaron out, and it was a good decision to do that. You sent Aaron out to go to Pennsylvania, and I always judge the success of an event if volume goes up and if recruiting goes up. And we've had that this month. You can look at the growth that we've had in Sisel. And I'm talking about, the team that's plugging into these events. And you can see people think that this is an accident, but we participate in events like we're having right now, closing out the month. That's an event. We participate in the monthly events, and we're doing the mini masters. When you're having an event, and we're about unleashed to do more events here. And thank you for being part of this event today. And we just everybody. Tom stopped to do this day. What if you stopped and reached out and called 2 or 3 people just to see if there's something extra they might need, or you can promote a product that they haven't tried yet, and that's a good way. Tom Jr., thanks for being part of this call. You're such a blessing, and you have a great day, buddy.
Well, thank you. Everyone have a great day out there.